Do we want to get started?
Your mom, but yeah.
Got him.
Wadim, just dunking on it out here in the streets. These mean streets.
It's mean streets.
Yes, the mean streets of the internet and that planet that Mando was on in that episode that we're going to talk about. That's a transition right there.
Mando.
If I've ever seen. Just spam that the entire time.
Mando.
Like, it made me so happy to hear him shout Mando.
I'll have to
again.
get the new one. Maybe it's like
yeah,
just for difference.
I was gonna say that
that
was the first line of that he said was Mando.
It fills me with joy every time.
I know. There's just something about what's his name again?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. That's right. Yeah, Carl Weathers.
Yeah, Carl Weathers.
He's
Sorry.
great. No, what's Grief Karga, right?
With someone else.
Yeah, Grief Karga.
Yeah,
I made back in Mando season 1. I made a bookmark. Like, I'm a terrible artist, but I just like drew like a little Mandalorian helmet bookmark, and it had a speech bubble that said, "Stay the fuck away from my son, Carl Weathers," and that was my bookmark for a little while.
Very beautiful.
That's great, but that was back when he was a bad guy, and now he's a good guy. So
yeah, he is a good guy.
Now he's Grogu's really cool uncle.
yeah, cool uncle.
Dude, they need to put him in Fortnite as a skin
with his big ass cape.
Mandalorian's already in it.
I believe it. Everybody's in Fortnite at this point.
Oh,
movie daddy.
Released... What? Oh,
movie daddy from Fortnite. TikTok is on Fortnite.
Oh,
let's get him in there.
I have not approved of this.
He's got a palace uniform skin, and then he also has a shirtless skin from that picture that Caleb took.
Beautiful
I still remember the after that one Super Bowl with Adam Levine, I took that photo and I just put like a very crudely drawn Missouri tattoo across my chest. And then I gave myself like the Adam Levine hair and a guitar or something, and I was like, "Hey, look, it's Adam Levine from Missouri."
Yeah, the Lake of the Ozarks, Adam Levine there. Yeah. That's not what we're here to talk about, right?
Mando.
We're here to talk about Mando, which is back after a long time, I guess. It's a time. If you count Book of Boba Fett, it is less of a time.
Oh, wait. How? I know we all watched Book of Boba Fett, but my favorite thing this past week has been people who did not watch Book of Boba Fett, like, jumping into this and being like, what the hell just happened? Why is Grogu back? And everyone being like, you have to watch Book of Boba Fett. And they're like, I didn't want to.
But you don't even have to watch all of it. You just need to watch a couple of episodes.
Like two whole episodes, basically. We're really just one whole episode.
The final 3 episodes, essentially. Maybe even just the final 2. Kind of depends.
Yeah. There's the 2 Mando episodes in there, which was obviously.
But like you had to have been living under a rock to have not known that happened, because like
that was also
like
true.
Very talked about how that was in
true.
That show. So
that was something I brought up to my partner, because I was like, "You didn't watch Book of Boba Fett," and they were like, "No." I kind of got. It was like I got bored after like 2 episodes, and I just kind of stopped watching. And I'm like, "Did you know that Grogu's back?" And they're like, no. I mean, I was just kind of hoping that would happen in like season 3 or something, but I don't really want to watch Boba Fett anyway. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, that's all you need to know, because that's all the series did, was just say, hey, Grogu's back with Mando.
For one, on a side note, I think history will be kind to Boba Fett. I bet if I go back and watch it, I'll like it more.
I liked it. I really didn't have. I mean, it was definitely a little cheesy, but like I liked it all right. I thought it was fun.
Sometimes you need a series that is not Andor, where everything is so grim and glum and very serious. You just need to have this guy in a suit of armor flying through the air, riding a Rancor, just going on a rampage and killing a bunch of no-name, faceless drones. You need that.
I think people just wanted the OG Boba Fett with a show.
They did, and
I
we
will
got
also
elements of
point
it,
out though
but
that
yeah.
OG Boba Fett pretty much just catches a fat L in his main on-screen appearance. So
I
that's
mean,
kind
like
of what you got is just
his
Boba Fett just catching L's in his own
his
show.
introduction was in The Empire Strikes Back, and he was just kind of this imposing
Yeah,
figure
he looked
who
badass.
managed to, like, capture Han Solo and take him away from the heroes and divide the group. So it was like, oh, cool, this guy is like a threat. He was able to track them down and everything, and was able to nab one of the heroes. And then episode 6 rolls around and he just falls into the Sarlacc pit, and everyone's like, yeah, no, he's still cool, I
Well,
still like him.
even in all of his on-screen appearances, like if you count his Clone Wars appearances
Yeah,
too, which granted he's just a kid there,
Yeah.
he's just catching L's in Clone Wars too. I mean,
Yeah.
he
we,
gets
But
his
we,
butt
we
he's
need
whipped
he's
by
originally in I guess Legends continuity a very renowned bounty hunter, and I don't know
yes,
if that's quite the
well,
same
like
in
in
here. I feel like it
there's some really
still
good
is
like
though. It still
there's like
that's
some
is.
really good comic series and stuff where he is whooping ass and stuff, but
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
all of his on-screen
Right.
appearances,
On
he
screen,
does
yeah,
not
he's
perform too well.
yeah.
that's the one
That's
thing
fair.
that I think I've mentioned this before. The complaint that I had and the change I would make with the Book of Boba Fett series is whenever he's walking down the street at the beginning as the new Major Domo, um, no one is reacting to him. Like, if he is that renowned and feared bounty hunter, I feel like people would know that's who he is, and they'd go like running and hiding because they don't want trouble. And I think that would have motivated him to actually earn their respect and not rule out of fear by being Boba Fett. I think that was what the show was missing. Anyway, that's it still relates to the Mandalorian, which we
Mando.
are going to talk about
Mando.
under that roof of things. But I was gonna say we need to list off like all of Boba Fett's L's that he has taken throughout
No good
his
to be
on-screen
dead.
depictions, and just put that Vine boom sound effect for every single one.
Well, he takes an L against Mace Windu. He takes an L against Asajj Ventress. He takes an L against blind Han Solo. Um, he takes an L against the freaking I don't know Black Chrysanthemum bodies his ass. Um, you know,
Slippery old man.
yeah. So that's the ones that I can
He
think of off
dubs
the
up
top of
on
my
Cad
head.
Bane though.
Yeah, that's true. That is fair. He does get
The
Yeah.
possible second best bounty hunter.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Because the best bounty hunter is Din Djarin, the Mandalorian.
Mando.
A couple things before we, I guess, talk about the episode. Obviously, there was the whole confusion for some people about the Book of Boba Fett of it all, which we just talked about. But then there was timeline stuff too. Apparently, I guess, and if you've heard otherwise, let me know. I guess Big Daddy Favreau pretty much just said the events like happen in real time. So like as time passed for us, like that's how long things were going on. So like from the end of season 2 to the Book of Boba Fett reunion, that's like the actual length of time. So like Grogu was with Luke for somewhere between 1 and 1.5 years before Mando actually got him. So and then like all of season, the gap between season 1 and season 2, time actually passed. So like Din and baby and Grogu were together for like a year to a year and a half, and then he gave him to Luke, and Lee was with Luke for like a year or so. So at least that's the way that I had heard it explained, is that as time passed for us, time also passed for them, is kind of at least how they were thinking it up, and maybe that's just some bullshit they made up on the fly. But that kind of adds a little bit more to it. So like it wasn't like Grogu just got like a week and a half's worth of Jedi training. He was actually there for longer than a year of training there, and I think that maybe adds to their Grogu and Din's relationship too, because okay, if this journey happened over the span of 2 weeks or whatever, that's less impactful than if they were spending well over a year with each other.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
So yeah,
People were getting really up in a tizzy about it, and it was just kind of funny.
Up
I
in a
think the
tizzy.
memes that came out of it were
Tizzy in it.
better.
Tizzy, isn't it? Wanka?
Tizzy.
The memes.
There were a few memes that made me laugh about it, and it was like Jon Favreau confirms that the time frame between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2 is -2 years and stuff like that. And it was just like it started to get ridiculous where he was just saying like the events of Dune conflict with the events of Speed Racer in that it's just like okay, we're getting veering off track, but I think people were trying to make that point of putting a timeline within Star Wars is a little bit ridiculous. Um,
Putting a
and I think
timeline in
that's
Star Wars is ridiculous?
a little bit, yeah.
I don't think
No,
so.
exactly.
I don't
But
know.
here's the thing,
I
even like Dave Filoni is like, I
yeah,
don't know,
Filoni.
like some time has passed, I'm sure, whatever. He like
I
didn't care.
I for one am a timeline junkie.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love
like,
knowing
I know it's not like,
when things are happening.
yeah, they have this whole string of, ABY, BBY. I mean, time has always been very relevant in Star Wars. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I feel like for somebody
Right.
to say that is just
Well,
a little ridiculous. Time is very important in Star Wars.
time is important in Star Wars, but it's more for a lot of general audiences and some fans, it's more about the eras. Like you have the prequel
Yeah,
era, you
yeah,
have
I
the original
understand that.
trilogy, and then you have the sequel era, and you just got to know where everything falls in line. So
Yeah.
within the prequel trilogy, you also have the Clone Wars era, which takes place between episodes 2 and 3. And then someone also brought up how uh, Dave Filoni was just kind of like, oh yeah, I don't care about these timelines. It doesn't really matter for the Mandalorian. It's events happening within this period of time between episode 6 and episode 7. So that's where it
Yeah.
exists and we can play around with it. And then someone else was like, yeah, meanwhile over here in Andor, he just flat out puts it on the screen 5 BBY, so 5
Yeah.
years before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah, so for I think that's probably pretty accurate for most people. Just like general time frames are good, but then there's like me who's like, oh, events of Kenobi line up with around the exact same time as Star Wars Fallen Order. Maybe Cal Kestis is going to bump into,
Mhm.
or I'm crunching all the numbers of all that
Yeah, I like to
stuff,
see that
and
stuff too.
how long has Ezra been missing from the end of Rebels to the beginning of Mandalorian, and all sorts of stuff like that is
Mm.
just like always spiraling through my head. Um, yeah, so that's the timeline of it all. We finally got the episode here after a long wait. I think overall I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good. I thought it was
Mm.
maybe just kind of like a setup episode. I think maybe if
Yeah.
they hadn't done the Book of Boba Fett, I think because they kind of like spent a little bit of time trying to re-explain what you missed if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
which was maybe like my one, and I wouldn't even really say it was a complaint, but like this to me clearly felt like a setup recap episode, which is fine. You can't always just jump right into things there. But I liked it. I think it does set things up pretty well, with the quest that Mando is going to have to go on here. Um, it started out, and did you guys think that was a flashback at the very beginning?
Yeah.
At first, yeah, I
Oh
thought it
yeah.
was a flashback, 100%.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I thought it was little
I
Din
was about to
getting
start making. I was making fun of that kid. I was just like, I was like, man, this little Din is like a doof.
What a
But
little
nope,
bitch.
just a little kid, just a regular little doof.
Yeah.
they're struggling to rebuild, and that's all. And then they get
Dude,
attacked by the
yeah, this little what are
Leopleurodon.
they? The Brothers of the Watch or something like that?
Yeah, or Children of the Watch or
Children of the
something
Watch.
like
They're
that.
Yeah,
so freaking pathetic.
They got
right.
washed there. I will say though, I in their defense, which it was still a very embarrassing loss there. I imagine those are all probably relatively new recruits because
Hmm.
at the end of season 1 or season 2 or whatever, it's basically just down to Paz Vizsla and the Armorer. Like they're like, oh, we're just a clan of 2. So it feels like these are
Yeah, but it
maybe
just
just like
sounds like their clan is just a clan of idiots in
that.
general. Like they're just a faction who broke off. I mean, that's
Yeah,
why I hate the Mandalore shit in
they're
general. It's just
Death
there's too
Watch.
much of
They're
that
Death
shit.
Watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just I don't like it, and they're
I
pathetic.
I
they got
I
they got banked.
I'm sure they're gonna explore this, but I also think like it's kind of it kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of Din's character and some of his development for him to just be like, yeah, no, I need to go back to the ways that I'm comfortable with. I need to be able
Yeah.
to like get
Yeah.
forgiven. And it's like, dude, it's literally established in this episode. He has the dark saber. He can command an entire faction of Mandalorians
Right.
just by going up to them being like, "Hey, look, I'm your leader." And they'll just
But
follow him
he's
because
simping for
got it.
this fucking watch people, and it's like, you're
Right?
stupid. They're
Yeah.
I know,
idiots.
which I think they're going to explore as like a way for it relates to a lot of real life stories because there are people who break away from
Cults.
harmful religious indoctrination and cults. But because that's all they've known all their life, they tend to revert and try to go back to it. So if they really want to play it in an interesting way for his development going forward, that could be what his new character arc is while he is in pursuit of redemption and, you know, being forgiven by the armorer he's simping for.
Right.
Yeah, he finds like, no, I literally can just get this plot of land that my friend Carl Weathers is offering me and just
Oh,
live my life with my son.
And my army of Mandos, because I have a dark saber if I wanted to.
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. And I think like the other like we said, I think the most annoying part of the episode is just constantly recapping everything with, oh yeah, here's what essentially you missed out on. It's like, oh, I took my helmet off and I need to bathe in the waters beneath Mandalore. It's like, you already
Uh,
said this to
Cara
the armorer and
Cara
then you said
Dune's
it to
been
her
hanging
again.
Cara Dune's been hanging out with Ben Shapiro, so she can't be my marshal.
Oh yeah, no, I do
Oh, is
love
that?
how he
Yeah, okay. I forgot that's who that's
yeah.
for. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and Carl Weathers basically it was like, why don't you just call someone from the Republic to come in and be your marshal? You know, like Cara Dune is. And he's like, I don't want a bureaucracy here. So he's basically calling her like, oh yeah, she went off to be like a freaking cop.
Corporate
So I don't want
stooge.
that.
Yeah.
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 So-
I liked Navarra. Navarra looked like it was popping.
Yeah.
You know, they get there and he's Mando wants to recruit Ed IG-11 back to his cause.
Direct.
Yeah, I thought, and I mean, they don't really show much after season 1, but that was a lot more surviving IG-11 than I
Yeah,
expected
100%.
there
I
to
was
be.
like,
Yeah.
did the lava he was in just immediately stop cooking as soon as he blew up? Like,
Right. Yeah.
so strange.
It looked like
Right.
it largely intact, which felt a little weird, but
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
he's made some
It's
strong stuff.
I was gonna say continuity in Star Wars has never been like their big thing because what was it? It was Kylo's scar on his face from episode
Oh yeah, they
7
straight
went
up
from
changed
being this
that.
giant nasty thing to just being like, oh, we got a sexy angsty scar.
Well, and they straight up changed the location entirely.
Oh yeah, because it was like right across like the bridge of his nose.
Yeah, and they
and then
changed it.
then it was just kind of like right up through his eye in that
Mhm.
area.
Yeah,
He's
that
gonna
was
have some
weird.
sexy angsty scars in
Oh.
65, the greatest movie to
It's-
release in 2023.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
try and
Oh,
see
yeah.
that or Ant-Man next
65.
week.
Oh, good. I'm probably gonna go see Cocaine Bear tonight. Anyway, I was gonna bring up like the other thing. It's like the Death Star 2 blowing up, and then
Still being
still being like fairly intact
Oh,
on
that's true, yeah.
a different moon.
yeah.
So it's Star Wars. It's like it's whatever.
I don't let that ruin my time too much. We got some Babu Fricks.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on. I was like,
None
Babu
of them were
Frick.
actually Bob Frick, though.
I don't
No,
think so.
The one
Did-
that Grogu hugged is Babu.
I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or are you
They,
just being
confirmed
you just
Babu
being
Frick
racist,
is-
Bailey?
I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting.
Bailey
What?
being racist?
Yeah.
No.
What,
No,
you think
they
all
could-
Babu Fricks look the same?
They could all Babu Fricks. Babu
I know.
Frick is the name.
I know.
Oh, Bob Frick. Wow, yeah.
You think all
But-
Chewbacca's look the same?
All Chewbacca's look the same. That sounds like a very like non-Star Wars, very casual fan like interpretation. They don't
Dad
call them Wookiees,
thing.
they just
Just-
call
yeah.
them Chewbaccas.
Oh, is that a
Babu.
Pikachu?
No, it's Charizard. How can you
I rewatched Detective Pikachu last night.
It's a good
Oh.
one.
It is good. I wish they were gonna make a second one. It makes me
I've
sad.
been hearing that they might.
Yeah, apparently it's starting development.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool if they redid that movie and replaced Ryan Reynolds with Pedro Pascal
Or Danny DeVito.
or Danny DeVito.
Yeah, remember, did you not see that huge campaign for wanting Danny DeVito to play him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious.
No, that's good. That would have been good. I think Danny DeVito needs to be in The Mandalorian. I think that'd be fun.
Dude, he's going to be in that Haunted
Star Wars.
Mansion, and it looks good.
Yeah. Oh.
Ando and
Okay.
Olsen.
You know what I think would be fun if he was like... I think that would be funny if he was like a hut. And you just like... he walks into a room where this hut is sitting there and he's like, hey, where's my grand sauce salad or whatever? I don't know. He just does his Danny DeVito thing. I can't think of a Danny DeVito line off the
I
top
want
of my
him
head.
to be a small version of Dexter Chester's race. And I just want to hear him say, well, what do you know?
Well, what do you know? Oh, that fits.
That'd be good.
Or I
He
want
can
him
start doing his dance from Sunny, but with 4 arms. He's just doing the thing.
You know what I want now? The more that we go on, I actually just want him to be a Mandalorian. I just want to see this short,
A little
Mandalorian,
Oh my
all
God.
decked out in like this armor, just waddling around and just being angry at everyone.
I also love
that'd be fun.
I loved the
actually would.
fan campaign to have Danny DeVito be Wolverine.
Oh, I saw that too. That's funny. Oh my God,
Danny
Danny
DeVito's
DeVito's the
awesome.
best. Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. Frick.
Shout
That's
out,
cool.
Danny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is regarding Mandalorian still.
Yeah, somehow.
So it fits within the episode.
Mando.
No.
That was Mando.
No. Where were we? We were talking about Babu Fricks, and then
Babu Fricks. We were talking about the IG-11, which, you know, I'll bring that up too. I think this episode did a lot. Like it, right off the bat, we have this battle with a giant monster, and then he, you know, recounts to the armorer, "Hey, so here's what my quest is that we already talked about, like in the book of Boba Fett last year. Anyway, see ya." And then he goes to Navarro to basically be like, hey, help me get to man. I don't know, why did he go to Navarro again? Because it seems like the
he wanted
IG-11
to show her
thing...
the rock that he had found.
Oh, right.
Or no, wait. Well, that's when he went to the
the
armor.
armor.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Gotcha. So he was showing the rock, which I hate that. I don't like whenever something happens off screen. I think I would have preferred Mando having gone somewhere and found that, and we see him find that. But he just shows up.
I have
and he's
a
like,
rock.
I have a rock. Look at that. And she's like, oh, go to Mandalore. And he's like, I was gonna do that. I just wanted to show off. And then he goes to Navarro, and just kind of like a spur of the moment decision is like, hey, IG-11's remains. He could help me out on Mandalore. It's like, what?
No.
Why?
I think he said that he was gonna need a droid for a specific reason, and then that's why he goes to Navarro.
Okay.
But I can't
so he
remember.
was going to Grief Karga.
Yeah,
to get a droid.
Well, so I think he was going to specifically. He specifically wants to try and resurrect IG-11 from the get-go. But yeah.
Well, that's what it didn't read as. To me, it read as he showed up and then he saw the statue of IG-11 and was like, "Oh, hey."
I've only seen it once. I could be wrong. You might be right.
I mean, like same here. I only saw it once. But then he went in and was just kind of like, "Hey, this critter's with me." And then they just walked over and it's like, "Oh, pirates." And then I had my little heart palpitation and go, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it going to be Hondo Ohnaka? Is it Hondo Ohnaka?"
Hondo the goat.
And then it wasn't.
It was Vane or whatever they said.
And the freaking the friggin' watch list of those guys wanting to get lit at a freaking preschool. Bunch of creeps.
I was like, dude, you were told it's a school and to step off, and they're still like, we just want to go inside and drink. And it's like, it's a school. What the
Keep them away from the children, please.
I think Mando had every right to gun all of them down at that point. It was like,
They should have just
yeah,
shot the. They should have just shot the other guy, Vane. They should have just shot him too
Dude,
right.
I gotta
instead of
say
letting him
though,
go.
But
whenever
I always hate that trope.
letting
It's
them
like,
go,
oh, let him go
Yeah.
so he can deliver the message, and it's
Yeah,
like
no,
it
it's a
never
bad
works
idea.
let them
out.
go so he can come back and screw you over later.
Exactly. So now they know your defenses, they know your perimeter, they know what you can do, and they're gonna be able to like step up on you and be like, all right, well, here's what we can do.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I was gonna say I really, for some reason, I don't really know exactly why I got this vibe, but maybe it's just because they were like space pirates, but like not so much at the school bar scene, but a little bit. But whenever they were flying around and trying to kill Mando, and then he like confronts the space pirate captain in front of his ship or whatever, I was getting Star Fox vibes the whole way through. I don't know why.
Yeah,
The villain seemed just like a Star Fox boss villain, and then they were flying through the asteroid field. It just it felt cool to me. I don't know why. I liked that scene. I thought it was a cool scene.
I actually really like that pirate. I don't know what about
Swamp
him.
Thing.
Yeah,
The
he was
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, he was kind of cool. He was kind of cool.
He felt Star Wars in a very practical sense. Like
Yeah.
I felt like that whole thing was just a puppet someone was wearing.
I think it was, yeah.
It was cool.
I think that's why I liked it.
like-
And I think, yeah, because it was so old school, it felt and practical. I think that's also why I felt like it was Star Fox, because they almost have like that
it
puppet
looks
like
good.
look in the games.
Yeah, yeah. And they brought that into real life. I remember there was that one Star Fox commercial where like the people were turning into the characters and they just became like fur suits.
Yeah,
of
it was
the
a little creepy.
characters. Oh god. Wasn't Reggie in that one? Like they got all the Nintendo heads and they turned into the Star Fox characters.
Yeah, I
that's
think
what
he
it
was in there. Yeah, I think he was in there.
Yeah.
Good old Reggie.
Reggie.
His body is ready.
His body
Reggie
is
Rock.
ready.
Reggie Ice.
Reggie Steel.
Reggie Steel.
Reggie
Yeah.
Gigas.
There's one other thing.
Sorry, I was gonna. You were talking Reggie's, and I was like, "Oh, Pokemon posted something recently, and it seemed to tease 2 more Reggies are coming into like Scarlet and Violet DLCs."
I honestly am probably not going to buy this.
Oh, I went ahead and got it. I was like, "Yeah, this seems fun."
I'll be honest, I didn't finish. I got all of the badges.
What else is new?
I got all the badges. I think I did everything except the Elite Four, and then I just kind of like.
That was the one thing I wanted to do.
Got a little bored, I guess.
Yeah. It's just hard for me to go back to an old Pokemon save in general, even if it is for DLC. It's just like, I don't know. It's like I've already beaten the game, and now you're wanting me to run through the whole thing. It's just, I did it for Sword and Shield, and I didn't like it.
Oh yeah, I never got those DLCs.
I'm sure that these will be way better than those, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're introducing the Blueberry School, which I think
it's Blueberry Academy or whatever. Yeah,
Blueberry Academy. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's cute. It's out in the middle of the ocean or something. Back to Mando.
That's God, we suck at this.
Jeez, our ADHD podcast here.
This is the worst. Yeah.
It's what the people want.
It is what the people.
Oh,
want,
Zach,
though.
did you watch Puss in Boots? Fans need to
not.
know. You son of a bitch.
Oh my god!
It is out on physical DVD.
No.
You can yo-ho it.
I almost got it. I almost got it last night, but then I watched Detective Pikachu instead.
Oh, stupid decision.
That is very dumb decision. Gosh. Golly.
Ugh. What is wrong with you?
I'm going to berate you every time we're on here until you watch that movie.
Tell me how you really feel.
I am.
Mando. God damn. Forgot what I was going to talk about because you guys are attacking me.
Was it by chance something to do with the
Mando?
Mando?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was. We haven't talked about the most important part of the episode,
which is
anybody got a guess?
I mean, was it the Bo-Katan stuff?
Well, no. Although I think Bo-Katan's cool. She's a hypocrite, though. She's all like, "You weirdo, being in this child of the watch."
Again, that part felt like one of those repetitive things where he showed up and they just kind of used that as like a, oh yeah, you have the dark saber, which means you run Mandalore. Anyway, I'm going to the underwater waters place thing
Yeah, but
to forgive my
Bo
sins.
Bo-Katan down. She's down bad. She's so sad. Um, she's got it. She's got it rough, for sure.
She's got a castle there herself.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing.
That's dope.
Oh,
She's
she's
like
got
the
a
new
droid.
Darth Vader.
She's got a droid. Who
Got a
cares?
droid.
No, the real most important part, because it helps further my agenda, and that's the Purgils.
What?
When they're
Yeah.
flying through hyperspace, you get to see the
Oh,
Purgils.
yeah. Was that in
And
direct reference, or were those just those?
I think that was. I mean, I'm sure it's reference to all the other times that Purgils.
Well, I
have
mean, I didn't
showed
know
up.
if that was like, I don't know, like,
The Purgils are like the canon explanation for how they've achieved hyperspace. They
Yes.
studied the Purgil and they found some way through like their ability to just jump into hyperspace. They're like, "Oh, well, we can program our ships to essentially do that." So, pretty much any time that you're jumping through hyperspace, you're likely alongside a group of Purgil also jumping through hyperspace or something like that.
no, I understand that. I know what they are. I just didn't know if like that was like supposed to. I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think it might be setting up a tease at the end of this for like keep an eye out for Ahsoka the
That's what I was
series.
trying to get at, because I was like, do
Yeah.
they have any
Well,
purpose for being in the show?
that's why I said it's furthering my agenda, because that's obviously where Ezra and Thrawn go out, is via Purgil. So, yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to there, because I am a Thrawn
Yeah, I like Thrawn. I think
kid
he's
rider.
cool.
So
So yeah,
that's
they
where I was
got
going.
sucked up on a Purgle or something, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, so Ezra's one of the Jedi that can kind of like commune with animals, I guess. Like he kind of his level of force sensitivity or whatever. He can communicate to a degree with animals. And so at the end, they're attacking Lothal. Thrawn's attacking Lothal, and that's Ezra kind of calls upon the Purgil to stop the Imperial attack, and the Purgil like wrap up the Star Destroyer and just yeet out into hyperspace, while Ezra and Thrawn are both on the ship there. So
Anybody else on the ship?
Probably a
I
bunch of dead
assume
bodies.
nameless no ones, but
Okay.
nobody else important. So that's obviously big because in Mando season 2, we got Caleb's favorite character in live action for the first time, and she of course referenced Thrawn, which now we get the Purgils again. I assume at some point in this show we're gonna see Sabine. I imagine Sabine will show up in this show as well. So there's just more and more Rebels connections, and obviously I'm a bit of a Rebels fan, if you haven't guessed at this point.
Oh,
So
you and Filoni.
me and Filoni, but I'm less of an Ahsoka fan. I don't have a problematic relationship with Ahsoka.
You're not setting
like
up
Dave Filoni
the
does.
Star Wars cinematic universe so you can bang her.
No, I am not.
Okay.
Maybe so I can make out with Thrawn, but
Okay, cool.
not. It is not Ahsoka related.
How funny would it have been if Ahsoka was one of the Dexter Jettster creatures from the beginning? A female version of that. And everyone's just like, Dave, why did you make a Dexter Jettster weirdly sexy? And he's like, I've always just found Dexter Jettster the most attractive character in all of Star Wars.
Dave, you need to calm down, man. You're
Dave.
scaring. Dave,
All those 4 arms.
Dave, you're
Wrap
scaring.
around.
You're scaring everybody off here with your cowboy hat.
Dave, you're scaring the hose.
Yeah. So I think
Tips
that's basically
cowboy hat.
it in this terrible episode of the podcast. Any predictions for the future? Anything you think will be coming soon. I obviously kind of think that there's going to be the whole Rebels bit at some point,
Most
which I
certainly.
think is what they're setting up for. But I don't know, anything else coming to mind?
I think Grogu is getting a solo episode. I think he's gonna get one of those like separated from Mando in some accident kind of thing, and we're gonna get an episode entirely dedicated to him, like going around this new planet all by himself and fending off creatures and stuff. Because I think we even saw like a clip of that in the trailer where this thing jumps at him whenever he's trying to leave a cave, and he just force pushes him out. Like, I think that's gonna be a Grogu solo episode.
I don't know if I ever even actually watched the trailer, to be honest, but I
Either.
definitely think that could happen there. I think that at some point, and I think this is pretty obvious, the freaking pirates are going to attack Navarro again. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If they don't attack
Well,
Navarro, we're definitely seeing them.
for
100%. We're
sure.
seeing that swamp guy for sure.
Yeah,
and
they're going to show up.
I was gonna say, I think they're gonna attack Navarro and Mando, newly renewed and everything, and cleansed of his sins, will finally reunite a bunch of clans of Mandalorians, and they're gonna go to Navarro and fend them off and save
Save
them.
the day.
And I
As they
think
do.
that'll set up like a new era of Mandalorians where they are not necessarily tied to their own planet. They are more going around the galaxy and saving people and helping people as best as they can. Um, so I think that might be like the start of it, or
Do you
something
think?
like that.
Does anybody think Cobb Vanth will show up again?
I
Oh,
think he
I
could. I don't know if he
honestly,
will.
I
So
kind of do hope that Boba Fennec and Cobb Vanth and maybe even Black Chrysanthemum show up in this series in some capacity.
Oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Oh, well, yeah. Peli,
yeah, she's
what's
the
her
best.
name?
Pelimoto,
She was in the trailer for this, so we
she's the
know he's
best.
going back to Tatooine. So it wouldn't
She's the
surprise me
best.
if they have an
Bryan
episode of that.
Cranston.
Well, here's the thing: if Bryan Cranston and Fennec Shand and the mid DeLorean Boba Fett show up, then we better also get the Vespa kids. I mean, if we don't
Yeah.
if we don't get the Vespa kids flying through Navarro doing cool spinning blaster
At
shots.
5 miles per hour.
Yes.
I want that juxtaposition of like a Mandalorian flying like super fast, and then
Mhm.
you just like cut down to these Vespa kids like, yeah, here we come. Here we go.
Then
And
he
they
does
go off
the
like a ramp. They go off a ramp and it's just kind of like
he does that needless spin where he shoots. He goes like, boo,
I really want that to be like his character trait is he just constantly
spins.
spinning and he just like every time that he spins that's like his trick. He
He's
can't hit anything whenever he's stationary until he does a spin.
Right,
It's
he's
like
got the
boom,
spin, and it's
boom,
like an
boom.
auto lock. It's just.
he's literally just the scene from The Office where they're like parkour,
Parkour!
parkour, parkour, parkour. He's just like jumping on benches and stuff. Yeah.
Kickflip.
His little cybernetic eye is like too much stability. Try spinning. That's a
Right.
good trick. And
That's
he
a good
spins and it
trick.
just immediately locks on to whatever. Okay. I like that.
Oh wow.
We should write our own Mandalorian show. That's what we should do. We should be in charge of season 4.
Not a bad idea.
We,
That would be,
we just bring Danny DeVito in. We give this Vespa kids more of a backstory.
It would be a disaster, I'm
Dexter
sure.
Jexter is there. Of
I
course, we have to bring Watto in just so that we can have some form of controversy, so people can be like, "Why'd you bring Jewish stereotype in?"
We bring Watto in, and Cara Dune just starts beating him up in the streets.
No! Oh God!
we're bringing
is bad.
everybody back.
Take that, woke Disney. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Jeez.
I'm probably thinking like super duper like way far down the line, right? This probably won't even happen, but it could. Maybe like 10 years down the line, like actual 10 years down the line. Star Wars. I want to see I think we could see Grogu with like the new generation of Star Wars, like post 9, Rey, Finn. I
Yep.
want to see like a slightly more grown up Grogu. I think we will see. I'm positive that we will see Grogu and Rey and all that stuff at some point. I don't know where Grogu's actually gonna go, but I feel like we will. Just I can see it happening.
Yeah. Speaking of where
Sure.
Grogu's gonna go, I saw someone on Twitter say something about how they think that this season is going to end with that same ceremony we saw at the beginning, but this time it's Grogu getting his own Mandalorian helmet.
So
And I'm
cringy.
like,
I'm sorry. That's
I know, it'd be
cringy,
so
though.
The
cringy.
helmet's not a. You can't put a helmet on that guy. His ears are too big. It's not
I
gonna work.
know. I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I think they're gonna go with the ceremony. I don't know about the helmet. They might just be like, here's your chain link armor thing that we already gave you. Put it on. Now you're a Mandalorian. And maybe the
Can't
series will die with, or maybe the series will end
Will
with
die.
Din dying and Grogu picking up the dark saber, which is 10 times
twice
bigger
his
than him,
size.
Oh
Yeah.
my
and being
god.
like, I am the ruler of Mandalore now.
Jeez.
And he goes on into this like Palpatine-esque reign where he's actually the most evil being in the galaxy.
It'll be weird to see him talk.
Yeah, it will be weird to see Grogu talk for sure.
I also do love how they confirmed Yoda talks in his backwards speech just cuz. Like,
Yeah.
we got Yaddle in that one series that was just kind of like, hey, Dooku, what are you doing? And everyone's just like, so Yoda's just a weird little guy and
He's just a
talks in a weird
weirdo.
way because
Yeah.
he wants to. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wild.
So Grogu's probably just gonna be like,
Yo, what up?
oh, or what? How does Pedro Pascal describe the Mandalorian voice? The oh god, what did he say? He called it like the bedtime seduction voice or something like that. Bedroom voice. He called it the bedroom voice. That's what it was. Sorry.
Boy, I said, boy, I hope he has a nice southern accent.
Grogu comes in speaking like Benoit Blanc from Glass Onion
Foghorn
and Knives
Foghorn
Out.
Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn.
What I say, boy?
Oh, I said, boy.
Now the
I would-
dark saber. It's
I would freaking die.
it's a facsimile of a
I would
bygone
die.
age.
Oh
They
my
get dad. They get dad to voice him.
Grogu? Oh my
doing-
god.
Yeah.
Grogu's first word.
What
But-
incarnation?
What in tarnation?
He's just like Mando.
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 Or he's been hanging out with what's his nuts? Bill Burr's character, so he's just from Space Boston. Space
Oh,
Australia.
Space Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
uh,
I just
Yeah.
love this. I love this idea of Grogu just having like the final moment of the season or the series is just Grogu finally saying his first word, and it's just the most strange voice possible. It's Danny DeVito. It's Danny DeVito. It's Danny DeVito.
there it is. It's come full
There we-
circle.
There we go. Danny
There
DeVito
we
has to
go.
be cast as Grogu's voice.
Has to
Yeah,
happen.
we need this. I mean, he's 50 years
what
old.
are you doing?
I could
Can
even
I
get
my
behind.
Jersey Mike sub.
I could even get
extra
behind
crispy.
Charlie Day. doing
Charlie Day
Grogu's
as
voice.
Grogu would be hilarious. We're already seeing him as Luigi, so
That's true.
oh my god, that would be perfect actually. Charlie Day as Grogu.
Oh god.
Gotta happen. I think
I gotta
that's
use the force. Or whatever. It's that whiny voice.
Tom Holland as Grogu.
Oh god.
That would trigger
Hey,
so many people.
I gotta
would
use
trigger.
the force or something. I don't know. Tom Holland does. He does an American accent.
Chris
Oh,
Pratt.
No.
Wahoo! It's a me, Grogu.
It's the Force.
Or he
Ooh.
goes into Grogu and he's actually doing like an authentic Mario accent. Like, it's me, Grogu.
Grogu.
Everyone's like, you couldn't do this for the damn Mario movie? It's like, oh, well, I thought I was playing Grogu in the Mario movie. Found it weird they kept having me say it's a me Mario, but I was like, oh.
Oh, what did you send me, Zach? Mario movie. I saw something about. You sent the TMNT thing. I connected it through Seth Rogen. Sorry, I didn't say it.
No,
Oh,
that's good. I think I don't know if it's a show or if it's an animated movie, but they're doing Seth
animated
Rogen's
movie.
doing a Ninja Turtles movie.
That is
And
sick.
so is Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito.
He's Baxter Stockman.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And yeah, I think it'll be fun.
So who's each turtle?
A bunch of people I've never heard of.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's not a turtle?
No, he's
Oh.
Bebop, I think.
And
Who's
Rocksteady
Bebop?
is John Cena.
The boar.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
You
Yeah, that just
know,
fits.
Jackie Chan is Splinter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, the turtles are a bunch of people I've never heard of. Nicholas
Okay.
Cantu, I've never heard of him before.
Nick Cannon, interesting.
Oh, idiot.
Oh my god.
Sham-
My army of
Shammin'
baby
Brown.
turtles will go and destroy.
I've heard of none of these people.
Baby Turtle Army.
Oh
Ice
my
Cube
God.
is in it.
Oh, Ice Cube.
John Cena.
Who's Shredder?
Paul Rudd. I don't know if Shredder's
Oh, we're not getting Shredder in here?
listed in it.
Yeah,
Post
Shredder's
Malone.
not been listed.
Hannibal Buress is in it.
Dang, okay, I'm liking this cast.
Yeah. I don't see
it's like
Shredder as a casted character in this currently.
all the villains are like actual cameos. Like John Cena's playing Rocksteady, so that
John Cena, the GOAT.
There we go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. That'll be fun. I don't know when the hell it comes out, but it'll be good. I went to the movies the other day, since we're just not talking about anything that's matters anymore. Oh, other Star Wars thing. They supposedly want to make Fallen Order a trilogy, so
I saw that,
there's
yeah.
probably gonna be a third game.
Oh yeah.
Bad Batch is good
Spoilers.
still.
Oh yeah.
But now that Mando's out, I forgot that Bad Batch came out the same day as Mando because I was so excited for Mando. But it's still been good. It's got Omega. It's got cloning. You know, they're all trying to make Episode 9 better. I think is kind of the purpose of a lot of what's going on with the Filoni version.
Probably what's happening, but it's gonna fall on deaf ears. You know, nobody's gonna.
Yeah, it will because
all
the people who hated Episode,
they're not gonna see that.
They're not watching Bad Batch. Yeah.
Right.
So.
And it was kind of the same way. A lot of people who hated episodes 1, 2, and 3 never watched the Clone Wars. So
yeah, but everybody came around to 1, 2, and 3.
Much.
Like, let's be honest. Everybody loves
a lot of people did. A lot of people did eventually, and I think the same thing will happen with the sequel trilogy. Is people will look back on it and be like, "Yeah, it was fine." And I think a lot of the heavy lifting was done by the Clone Wars because people were, able to be influenced by that and heard, "Oh, in the Clone Wars, this happens," and then they rewatched the movies and they're like, "Oh, hey, that informs a lot of these and this and this, and that makes sense within this new context," and
Yeah.
So I think that same thing will hopefully happen. It's just weird that they're doing it in between episodes 3 and 4 instead of, I don't know, a little later on.
Yeah,
with
that's true.
The actual new characters from the sequels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just like seeing Daddy Palp though. Bad Batch.
Dad Palps, Big Palpy.
Yeah.
Voices.
It is and hot. But I went to the movies. I didn't watch
You saw anime.
I didn't watch an actual movie. I watched Demon Slayer season 3, which was awesome, by the way. But it was cool to see in theaters. Technically, it wasn't a movie; it was 3 episodes smashed together.
Gotcha.
But got to see the 65 trailer again. Got to see John Wick 4 trailer again.
Oh.
There's some good movies in March. I think.
Yeah.
I will definitely watch 65. I will definitely watch John Wick. I will probably also. I know we're not supposed to support them, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
So
I mean, like, apparently it's whatever issues have been going on with Wizards of the Coast has been like resolved for the most part. So people who are D&D fans are now like, okay, we feel comfortable going to see that movie now.
yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna
I
watch
still don't think it looks good,
Shazam.
personally.
Yeah, I don't know about the Shazam sequel.
Same.
Skipping it.
And also, I mean, like, it doesn't help the fact that Zachary Levi just
Oh yeah, that's
absolutely
right.
destroyed the PR recently because he came out with like all this anti-vax rhetoric,
So
and he just
upsetting.
keeps doubling down
Then
on
I
it.
saw
and-
he was like randomly like making fun of Britney Spears.
yeah, just out of nowhere, he was like,
God.
"She should go
What
back
are
to
you
her
doing?"
conservatorship or something."
Yeah,
I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Jeez,
pump the
man,
brakes there,
you've
buddy.
fallen off, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
And
no,
Chuck Bartowski got to your head.
someone pointed out that Rachel Zegler, who was the lead in the newest West Side Story movie, she's also in Shazam 2, and they were like, she cannot catch a break. She is constantly in movies where the lead opposite her is like the worst human being that they could possibly be. Because Ansel Elgort's like a child predator or something like that. Ugh.
Is that my Joey Wheeler?
I think so.
I think so.
You're gonna have to cancel that one, bud.
Damn it.
Oof. Yeah.
Still got my
Maybe-
Yubi.
Yeah. So far.
Yeah. So, yeah, those I'll watch. I need to go watch Creed 3.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was on
That's supposed to be a
Fortnite this
banger.
morning, and there is a Adonis Creed
Fortnite.
skin.
Skiing.
There's
Oh, my
an
skin.
Adonis Creed skin, bro, and it's actually sick.
Yeah.
They always like
Dude.
add something. There's like a regular Adonis Creed, and he looks great, and then like they give him like other alternate skins, and he's got like this like hood on, and then he's got like these robot parts on his arm, and it looks actually pretty
It's
sick.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Adonis Creed
I've heard
shoots
it's
a
really good.
Kamehameha at Darth Vader and then hits the gritty before flying.
I've heard it's
Fortnite.
good. I've heard it's a good movie, so I'll have to see that at some point.
Yeah, at some
as
point.
well. But I don't know. That's about all I can think of. I don't know if I'm watching much anything else.
I'll let you guys know how Cocaine Bear is.
Yeah, I probably won't see
yeah.
it in theaters, but I want to see it.
In influencer perks, I posted about it on my Instagram. So I did a trailer reaction like
They gave you a free bag of cocaine.
Almost. They gave me a duffel bag with Cocaine Bear on the side of it, and inside of it were like money straws, like actual paper straws, but they look like they wrapped money. They gave us coasters that have like lines of cocaine drawn on them. And they're really nice coasters too. They got like good rubber stops. And then they gave us these little gummy bears that are coated in
Marijuana.
powdered
Edibles,
sugar.
yeah, that's not.
Well, it wasn't edibles. It was just, well, at least I don't think they are. They didn't actually have
why don't
anything
you-
on the label that indicated anything.
Why don't you
'Cause
eat about 3 of those before you go to the movie?
And then we'll find
and
out.
Find out.
Well, they tasted good. I gave them to my parents and my brother and sister.
Really?
Imagine if they were. That'd be hilarious.
But yeah, no. So they gave us those, and it was like these gummy bears came in these dime bags, so they look like rock
You
cocaine.
did what in the dime bags?
They came. Oh my god, no! Shut up. Ugh. But then they also gave me a Cocaine Bear shirt, which is honestly pretty sick. I'm wearing it now, and on the back it says, "I saw a bear do cocaine," and on the front is the bear with its nose covered in cocaine, and there's like lightning striking all around it. It's pretty sick. Anyway, perks of being an influencer is I get sent maybe edibles for free and give them to my family. I don't know.
Jeff gonna get high. Yeah. That'll be good. Name Jeff. Anything else?
I have been looking around my room.
Attack on Titan. I had not watched yet.
I haven't finished that new episode yet, but the
Yeah.
next part, Jesus,
It's gonna make you
season
wait. Yeah.
Season 4, Part 3, Part 2 is
Jesus
releasing
Christ.
in
I'm so glad I don't
fall.
watch this stupid show.
It's great, but they are doing it pretty dirty here at the end.
I get why they're doing it because the animation the animation team has been on they've been abused like crazy over this, but I'm almost done watching this episode, and it's a pretty good episode so far.
I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah.
Gate Guardian support is pretty dope. Days of Memories. It comes out in like 5 days.
Man.
It's cool.
How do you know it's dope?
Because they've shown what it looks like. Like they've released what it looks like online and everything.
Gotcha.
See what all the cards
are they going to be competitively relevant?
Well, that remains to be seen. I think they've got some competitive vibe. I think that they've got some really good effects, but I'll have to see once they're out. Like their price is already listed because that's a very important thing. And so like from the set, they're really not expensive cards. So that kind of makes you wonder if they're not going to be too crazy. But they got like the XYZ treatment, like the XYZ
Dragon Cannon.
Yeah, they got like just multiple parts fusing now for like fusion cards. It's pretty cool.
How many of our listeners just tuned out?
If they did, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, let's be honest. We stopped talking about Mando for a minute there.
Well, then it's an opportunity for me to say that I watched an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens the other day.
Jesus Christ.
What the
I haven't
hell
even
is
done
this?
that.
Right after I watched an episode of Beyblade Quantum Burst Drive or whatever.
Wow, okay, I've never even heard of that.
My God.
It was not intentional. It was one of those things where I was like on the couch and I was too lazy and apathetic to change the channel.
And tell me your thoughts on Sevens, because I've genuinely only seen still images and it looks terrible.
I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
Why are their dual discs shaped that way?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the meta.
The what?
Summoning the meta of the card game meta.
Yeah.
Like this guy just like throwing out like 3 monsters like turn 1, just like here you go, here's these, and I had no idea what was happening, and
I don't understand. Sevens is like a reinvention of Yu-Gi-Oh, so I don't even understand it. I don't.
It was bad.
Can't follow.
It was bad, but it was not as bad as the Beyblade anime. That is some terrible.
Hey, I watched a Beyblade
It's
anime. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't terrible. But whatever you said sounded terrible. Quantum
it's bad.
Mania.
It's bad. Yeah, it's rough. So.
Can't be as rough as Bay Wheels spinoff where they were just
yeah. Tough. They were like, oh, they have this new arena for the Beyblades, and every character in there was like anime reacts shitting their pants because the middle of the arena falls out into a second arena that is like the exact same. It's just like that. That was basically everyone.
I like zoned out for a second, and then I just heard that whenever I like started to tune back in. I was like, what did I miss out on this question?
Okay, this is over. This is the end. We can't do this any longer.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Mando.
Mando.